Infidelity can make you feel like you are losing your mind because you know something has happened, but they keep denying it. So you get stuck in these loops of, did I imagine this? Am I overreacting? Why won't they just tell me the truth? So I want to talk in this video about how to fit together closure in a context when someone isn't giving it to you. Because if you have no closures, no answers, no clear timeline, and it's just like this giant blank space, your brain is going to keep trying to fill in that information nonstop. This is where you start compulsively just replaying every little piece of the puzzle that you have. Different texts, tones of voice, weird gaps, inconsistencies. Anything they do that is slightly off pattern becomes this massive question mark to you. And one of the most frustrating parts of this is that you start to feel powerless because the other person has this massive leverage. They know more than you. They understand exactly what happened, and for one reason or another, they're not telling you. And so you're left trying to grieve something that you can't even fully explain. You might be up all night crying, and you don't even know for sure what happened. And this is all part of patterns of being gaslit, feeling disrespected, dismissed. And it feels like the wound just keeps reopening every time there's a little bit of healing when nothing has been acknowledged. For some people, you might be watching this and you've already left, and you're just trying to understand what happened so you can have closure and move on. Other people might be in the limbo of the relationship where they don't really know how much happened, and so they're not sure if they should leave. So let me ask this question. Why do cheaters not give you a good explanation? There are a couple of factors here. Number one, many people will straight up deny giving the details of their infidelity because they're ashamed of it. And going through the truth step by step forces them to confront a whole wave of emotions that they've been pushing down. They've been so used to lying to you, lying to other people, and lying to themselves that to give you answers that you deserve would force them to confront who they've become. Many people are just not ready or willing to do that. And that's not fair to you, but I'm just explaining why that happens. There's also a lot of fear. A lot of them fear losing you, losing their sense of being a good person, losing control of the narrative. Many of them are also unclear on what exactly did happen. Again, if you lie for a long period of time, you're going to end up forgetting things and mixing things up. And there is a part of them that's afraid, especially if you've been pressing them for exact details, that they might say one thing and contradict themselves the next day and get themselves in trouble, so to speak. And as crazy as it sounds, a lot of people really do try to avoid thinking about it because they've convinced themselves that it wasn't really cheating. And as long as they don't think about it too closely, they can maintain that sense that they didn't cross that line. Ultimately, they want the best of both worlds. They want to still have you, they still want the ego boost of the affair, and they still want the ego boost of feeling like they did nothing wrong. And they might feel like you not having the truth will help you. What they usually don't understand is that the truth is what can help put your mind at rest, especially when it comes to trying to rebuild and reconcile with them. You need to know what happened so you can know it won't happen again. If I had to really break it down very simply, the person who cheated is in a very avoid, hide, don't face reality mindset, and the person who was cheated on is in a very search for truth mode. And so they're exact opposites. And that's why people that are even trying to reconcile, who had a good history, whatever it may be, can really butt heads trying to figure this out. Because while you're seeking clarity, transparency, and honesty, they're still likely to some extent running from their feelings and from what happened. So what can you do? Well, there's kind of two layers to this. Number one is, what can you do if they are cooperative? And two, what can you do if they're not? If they're not cooperative, you need to recognize that it is possible to have closure apart from them. The fact that they are not willing to be honest with you is all of the data that you need to know whether or not the relationship is worth having. The fact that they were not honest with you and are not honest with you is usually enough information to be able to understand that the relationship was not what you thought it was. So if someone has already shown you over and over again that they are not willing to be honest with you, what are you interrogating them for? What is the point of that? You're just keeping yourself stuck in a weird trauma bond pattern with them. Instead, focus on what you do know. And it can be helpful to write out a timeline, not based on what they say, but what you believe and what you know. And you can use your intuition. You can decide, this is my best theory on what happened. Write it all out. I think that it happened from this date to this date. I think these were the motives and reasons. And this is what I'm going to be doing moving forward as far as leaving them is concerned. Fill in that story yourself. Even if you're guessing to some extent, you are likely right. And stop trying to find the missing puzzle pieces from them. The truth is that the vast majority of the time that clients I work with are stuck on this piece of, I just need my ex to tell me exactly what happened and I'll be able to heal. They're using that to deflect. They are intentionally or unintentionally avoiding the inner work, the parts of themselves that are broken. And so if you are using this as an excuse, stop it. Focus on your own path to healing. And as you write down that list of things you know, as you write down the timeline of what you think happened, feel free to also write the things that will remain a mystery. There are so many things in life that I don't know, that you don't know. I'm a very ignorant person, and I am okay with that. Acknowledge the things that you will just never know. But when you keep trying to find answers to impossible questions, that's when you drive yourself crazy. Now, if they are willing to be honest and to work with you, typically you would want to go down the route of doing a disclosure where you go through a guided process with a professional that can help guide the conversation to lay out the exact timeline, motives, how they deceived you, what methods they used, and just get the information out. And the reason I think it's helpful to have someone else facilitate this is so that you don't get too much information, and to check both people to make sure they're not operating from a triggered place while doing it. For example, if you're just trying to get the truth and then the unfaithful partner launches into, oh, I'm such a horrible person, I can't believe I did this to you, stop that. When it comes to laying out the truth for the betrayed partner, this isn't about the emotions of it. It's simply getting it all as clear as it can be. But I will emphasize again, for the unfaithful partner, they likely don't know all the reasons why they did it. They likely don't remember every tiny detail. What's important is honesty. Is this person willing to be honest with me now? Because if you can see that they are genuinely communicating, they are trying to lay it out, that's really all you can go on. But if you see that they're not, then it doesn't matter what happened then. They're still being dishonest now. The pain of infidelity tricks us by thinking that all of the pain is in the past. What's hard about it is what's still happening now because of it. So if you feel like you're stuck in these mental loops, feel free to book a call with me. This is the exact kind of thing that I help people with. Once you get to the deeper roots for why you in particular are stuck in this mental loop, why you feel like you're stuck seeking answers in the past, you can actually let go of it relatively quickly.